Excuse me. Pardon me.
You are excused and pardoned.
Thank you. Okay, so I have a story for you. I don't know if I feel like I've had to have told you this, but you don't need preamble, right? You're just like, get to it.
Bring it.
Beach? Okay. So, a long ass time ago, like, a long time ago.
As many stories begin.
Yeah. When you're an adult, you stay at home. When you're a youth, you got the stories. Okay. So me and a friend, we used to, and you know this, me and a friend used to like ride the last train out from the suburbs to Dallas and like sleep on like concrete camp is what we'd call it. And we'd sleep on like a rooftop, and it'd be like right like uptown, so you're sitting right at downtown, so it's like the craziest view. And if you're on top, like if you're on a building, it's so much different than it's hard to describe. It's just, the view is just unreal. It's like you're at the Grand Canyon but in the city. You're just like, oh my god, like look at this view, right? And you can see that okay, I have to a little bit of tangent. You can see that same view in the building. Like if you weren't on top of the building and you were in the building right below the roof and you looked out of the window, it is not the same. It is, when you're sitting on the roof, it's special. Okay.
I understand.
Moving along. So we do this regularly. Like this was a new friend, and I would like to jump in and just do another tangent. I'm sorry. Okay.
You're jumping in.
Jumping. There's no story. It's all in. It's pure jumping. There's no in. Okay. Okay, so I'd met this friend. I'd met this guy, and it just clicked that we're going to go and be like partners in crime. You know what I mean? We're just going to go and run around at night and tear shit up and act ridiculous and, all these things. So I had a boyfriend at the time who had been living with for years, and I was trying to get him to come out with us. I'm like, come on. You need to experience this spectacular fucking view, right? All this. And he's just like,
he wasn't YOLO.
Dude, he was not into it. He was not YOLO. He was looking at us like, you YOLOs need to go jump in a fucking in a volcano or something. Like he was not into it, but he didn't care at this. He was never okay, who cares what he thinks? I just want to talk trash. Moving along, back to the story. So we would do this regularly and take the last train out and sleep on a rooftop or whatever. So one night we get on the train and we're doing this. We're going downtown. So we look homeless because we're youthful, and I'm always messy, and we have like, sleeping bags and shit like that. So we get on the train, and the train is surprisingly packed this night. And I look over and I see this guy who may be homeless. I don't know. I didn't get a strong homeless vibe, but I got a strong fun vibe. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting next to this guy. I don't know. I just had this sense like if I sit next to him, I will make a best friend. So I sit down next to him, and sure enough, we're best friends. He's a chatty Cathy. So, and again, it was like there might be homeless vibes for him. It's hard to say. He's just very rough around the edges. No problem. This guy looks great. Okay. So I'm chatting with him, and my friend's sitting across, and like the train's full. So the further we get into downtown, like the train gets more full, and me and this guy are more fucking chatty. Okay. So we're in downtown. Like we just enter downtown. Like we're definitely in the city at this point, and I don't know, maybe it's our fucking charming homeless energy or something, but this guy walks up, right? I don't know how to describe him. This is a long ass time ago. I want to say he was just like wearing regular clothes, but he had like a demeanor about him. I don't know how to describe it. I haven't really thought of it much until now. Okay. So this guy walks up, and he kind of like I don't know how to describe it. Like, he kind of like rings the three of us in, right? Like me, my friend, and my new best friend, homeless guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He like rings us in, and he's just like, he pegs us. Like, he didn't even ask. He like instantly pegs us as all homeless people, and he's just like, excuse me, homeless people, if you need a meal or whatever, like, you should come with me, right? And I didn't need a meal, but I was like, adventure starts now. Following strangers in the middle of the night. Let's do it. Let's go. So no wonder why I have all this anxiety as an adult. All this fucking reckless behavior as a youth is catching up with me. Okay. So the three of us are like all feeling it. We're like, well, my friend, who was kind of grumpy at the time, I thought he was emo. One time I told him that, he got so offended, and in my head I'm like, this is proof, bitch. Being offended is just proof that I'm right. Okay. Not that I'm right, but you're being emotional, and that's proof that I'm right. Moving along. So grumpy friend is just kind of like, he's down. Me, I'm like, yeah, right? Mm-hmm. And then the other guy, who's also bringing the noise, of course he's like that too. So we're pumped that the party has just begun. This is kind of how I'm assuming we're all feeling. Who knows? But how do I describe this? I can't call everybody a fucking guy. This will be a confusing story. So businessman has this other homeless guy like following behind him. Like, I don't know if I don't know if anyone was no one was probably homeless. I wasn't. This story is very suspicious. Okay. A lot of misleading names. Just
looking for handouts.
Okay. So he has a guy following him who may or may not be homeless. I don't fucking know. Who doesn't look like his friend. It looks like he like rounded that guy up first, and now the two of them are like, hey, you fit with us. You fit with this guy, so let's all go. Okay. So we're in the thick of downtown where it's like all skyscrapers. It's like, like no residential, whatever. And it's last train, so it's probably almost like 1 a.m. or something. Mm-hmm. So he's like, all right, this is our stop. So we get off the train, and he takes us to this building, like this huge fucking building. And we walk through, I don't know if he unlocked it, because it was an empty building. It was, it was a real building, but it was late at night. Okay. So we walk in, and we go down this to kind of like this basement floor that's kind of like a food court from like the 80s. I don't know how to describe it. It looked very, nobody cared about it. Okay. Except this guy. He cares. And we care. Okay. So.
Yes.
So we go down the stairs, and we're at this food court, and then he like unlocks this, like a food court has like all the little separate areas. Like, he unlocks his area, and he like turns on a light, he turns on the TV, he's like, yeah, go, like sit down, like what, whatever. Like, he's just like, make yourself at home. Mm-hmm. So then, so the two guys that I assume are homeless, they're like raiding the food. They're like, now is the time to feast. So they've got like plates, and they're like stocking up. And I don't know what the hell my problem was. Oh, I know what my problem was. I was a youth, an arrogant motherfucking youth. Sorry, too much. We're not a sailor. We are a chatter. Okay, moving along.
A doctor.
So I don't know. I'm feeling, because something about the way the guy's being, I'm now feeling kind of like assertive, low-grade, aggressive energy. I don't know. Like, I'm being polite, but I'm also, I don't know. It's hard to describe, and who knows what I was really thinking. This is a long time ago. So he's showing us around like the walk-in, and he's like, oh, take whatever. And I'm just like, I don't want none of your MSG corn syrup bullshit, which I love now. So, I think I just had a youthful attitude at the time. So he's trying to talk me into all the food, and I'm just like, go fuck yourself. And now he's like trying to get me to drink, right? And I'm the only lady, and I'm just like, all right, I'm the only lady. I feel like I'm the only lady. This is, that's probably why I had some aggressive energy. Just whatever. Okay, who cares? Moving along. So he's trying to get me to drink, And I'm just like, go fuck yourself. And then he's like, and I was like, I don't drink. And then he's like, yeah, right. What's in your hand? And I had this little bottle of Perrier bottled water, but it's in a glass. So he's thinking like I'm carrying booze or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, I'm going to go sit down with the other homeless people. So I walk off. And the two homeless guys, they're sitting in completely different booths. Like the quiet following guy is like off in the corner and he's just like eating. The other homeless guy, my BFF, he's next to the TV. He's got the TV turned up loud. I don't think he's talking to himself, but he's just like the look on his face is just like, if you get next to me, we're going to chat, right? So so me and my friend, we sit down with him and we're just chatting it up, enjoying the evening. And then, I don't know, at some point, we're just like, fuck this place. Because I think the guy said we could sleep there. And we were just like, peace. And so me, my friend, and our new BFF homeless guy were like, bye. And then we left the building at like, I don't know, 3 a.m. or some crap. And we walk up to the street. And we're in downtown. We're not in the area that me and my friend would sleep in. So we're just like, okay, we're on this guy's fucking adventure map. Let's hang out with him. So he takes us to this bridge that is like the dirtiest, smelliest, loudest. It's right next to the highway. It was so fucking loud. And I've slept, you know, under bridges next to highways before. That shit is loud. Like, okay. But this was a different kind of loud. But nobody needs to know the intricacies of loudness in one homeless den versus another. Okay. So, where is this going? So, we go under this bridge, and it's not a blissful night. Let's put it that way. And we're on the ground, so anybody could come up and essentially like steal your gold from your teeth or something. I don't know. You just have this feeling like, dude, I'm not falling asleep here. Like I'm on guard here, so yeah. I will watch over you guys. Take a nap, right? So I don't know what. It was probably like maybe an hour or two later, our BFF friend was like, peace, and he just got up and walked off. I saw him walk off, and I was like, okay. So, like, nice to meet you. It was a good evening. Glad we could enjoy ourselves. And then we just kind of laid there. I don't think we talked or anything. We were just kind of awake, just, you know, trying to fall asleep. And then the first train, kind of like you can hear the train off in the distance, the first train of the day. Mm-hmm. So it was probably like between 5 and 6 a.m. So we were like, fuck it. So we walk back to the train and get on the train. And then we're like, let's, you know, go back to like the suburbs. So we get on the train, go back. It's crack of dawn. It's the first train. And we're in the suburbs. You get off the train. Out from the... there's like this small field next to the train. I mean, now it's like a fucking whole neighborhood of nice buildings. But at the time, it was like this field of trees. And I see this grizzly bear of a man, this sort of like Sons of Anarchy like man, walk out of the trees at like 6 a.m. or something. And I was like, huh. So we're walking from the train platform to like, you know, out of the area. Mm-hmm. And we're walking right towards him and he's walking right towards us. And then we made like a brand new best friend. Like his name is Bo. And I ended up like seeing him around for years and just, I don't know. So we sat there and we met Bo because we were up so fucking early. And he told us his life story. And he had like this huge camping bag on. So it's kind of like, I mean, besides looking like Sons of Anarchy with a beard, like the bag is a really fucking dead giveaway that you're really homeless. Okay. Yeah. So we make best friends with him, and we sit down and we chat for a while, and he tells us his life story, and then we're like, all right, peace. And then he leaves, and then we walk back to my apartment. We probably got home around like 7 or so. I don't know. So my friend gets in his car and he goes home, and I go back to my apartment and I go to sleep for like 2 hours or maybe like 3 hours before I had to go to work the next day. And then that's my story. Any questions?
Wow, what a great homeless adventure.
I don't think so. Any questions?
No.
That about wraps it up. Peace.